Welcome back to the next episode of the Spotlight Series. It is I, Nico Benny. Along with me is the 2022 winner of the Ted Hendricks Award, which is given to the best defensive end in the nation. He also broke the NCAA single-season sack record. Joins us today, Mr. Caleb Murphy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Caleb finished his 2022 campaign a D-II national champion, had 25 and a half sacks and 39 tackles for loss, which is tied for an NCAA record to add to his resume. Caleb, tell me about yourself. What's going on? How's training going?
Yeah, man. I'm in. Yeah, like I said before. Yeah, I'm in Exos in Pensacola. Just training down here. Really just taking everything easy. Working hard down where I'm at. Not doing too much outside of that. Um, but yeah, man, everything's looking good this so far. Just got back from the Shrine Bowl, so it's good, man.
I should also go back and say that this is the first time a D-II player has ever received the Ted Hendricks Award. Caleb, what does it mean to you to have your name forever sealed in the history books before you even begin your NFL career?
So it's really nice because I get to show others that you can be found anywhere, as long as you put the hard work in, the dedication, those type of things, and you push yourself, so to show other guys in D2, D3, whatever, whoever it is, like, talent can be found anywhere, and to show them that, just to work hard and your dreams can come true, so to have that award is really nice because I can share it with others, and as well as it shows how hard I worked this past year, the years before then too. It all led up to this. So to put myself in a better position, towards the NFL is really nice.
You kind of set a precedent for D-II, hopefully in the future, that talent can be sourced from anywhere. You played in the East-West Shrine Bowl and made the most of your opportunities, to say the least. You had a great week in practice, and you notched another sack during the game. What's it like being surrounded by NFL talent all week, and do you personally feel that you did enough to stick out?
So yeah, I'll answer that last question. I most definitely think I did enough to stick out. I work hard at what I do, and I play with passion. So it's going to show all the time. Playing with those guys was really nice because I dominated at the Division II level. So to see what I could do against those guys was really nice because it's not too much difference about size. Honestly, I think in the exposure. Because I play a lot of guys that are at D2 schools that, can play ball. Like, doesn't matter the position or whoever they are, my teammates included, And then there's those D1 transfers, that come in, So you see those type of guys, those builds, the things that you're going to see at the next level, So it's really nice. It was a really good week for that. It was nice that I showcased well. I had a great week of practice, great week, and with the whole thing, interviews, all that. So it was really nice to put myself with the NFL talent and just show, that I can compete with anybody out there and that I'm a man just like anybody else.
What was it like to be coached by an NFL coaching staff, and how different did it feel compared to college coaching?
So yeah, that was really cool. So at my school, we don't use a playbook. I'll say that right now. It's kind of crazy.
All right, all
But
right.
obviously, like, we know the plays, those type of things that we do, and I know the base fronts, those type of things. But we didn't use much of a playbook. We didn't have one. So the first thing I got when I was there was a playbook, So it was really cool to get that and figure it out. I had to learn through that type of way at this point. Um, it was really nice getting hands on with the NFL coaches because they can teach you things and they craft you and mold you to the way that they want you to play. For them, not any other team, anything like that. They had us in there that week playing how they play, and how they wanted us to play for them. So it was really nice to, be specified towards one position, and working at it and trying to get better at it within a week. I learned a bunch of stuff within a week, so it was really nice being underneath them. Um, I couldn't ask for a better experience when it came to coaching.
That's awesome. What would you say is tougher when preparing for a week like the one you just had? The mental aspect of the game or the physical aspect of it?
So we all got there based off of our physical aspects, mentally, you go into those interviews, it's long days, it's long nights, the 3 hour time change from back home, so just to try to get back on the sleep schedule, those type of things, and then sticking out those long days, the interviews, just being yourself the whole time, not getting caught up in anything. So I think the mental aspect is the hardest just for anybody, any athlete, because you're sitting in there and you're on a job interview the whole time you're there. Like the next couple months of everybody's lives in the past months have been a job interview. So, just to continue on like that and then be in front of them is a little nerve wracking, but at the same time, you got there for a reason. So to tell yourself, hey, I'm here for a reason. I belong here. Those type of things help you. But the mental aspect for sure, because I think physically everybody got there because they play good ball.
And what does that mental preparation kind of look like for you? How do you get into that zone, and what do you do to kind of lock in?
So me personally, I like to, just take some time to myself. I'm a big mom person. I'm a mama's boy, so I'll give my mom a call early in the morning if I'm feeling like I need it, and I will let her know, like, hey, it's gonna be a long day, and she's like, you got it, and that's all I need throughout the day, because typically, like, I'm a good person, and all I have to do is be myself and be honest. So, as long as I can do those things, I'll be okay. But um, my mom is big for me. So, I do a lot of leaning on her when I need to, refocus my mental.
That's awesome. And you look at your social medias and you see your two dogs too. Do they play a part in your mental preparation, kind of that ease and relaxation?
So, yeah, when I'm at home, I have a Cane Corso and I have a French Bulldog. So when I'm at home, they are everything to me. Just to be up underneath them, I spend so much time with those two dogs, Kodak and Letty. So to be underneath them is really nice. Letty plays a huge. I've had Letty for like 3 years now, so she plays a huge role. Kodak's a puppy, but he plays a big role too because he makes his sister happy, makes me happy too. But yeah, Letty's huge for me for sure because I can sit there and she can't communicate, so she just knows how I feel sometimes, and I just lay there with her, and it's really nice.
That's good. I have a 6-month-old golden doodle at home, so I can relate to you on that
Nice,
one. We
nice.
don't deserve dogs as humans. I got to put
They're
that out
crazy.
there.
They're amazing, man.
uh, this is Caleb Murphy, the Ted Hendricks Award winner. He's joining us fresh off a trip to the Shrine Bowl. Caleb, do you feel like you had like an "I'm really here" moment in Vegas, or did it feel like another game to you?
So I prepare myself as I'm a dog. That's what I do. I play ball. So being there, I had a I'm really here moment when I seen all the Louisville, Michigan State bags. All the tags on everybody else. Those type of things. But other than that, when we got out to practice and stuff like that, it was nothing different than I was preparing myself for my whole life. I knew what it would take. When I went into Division II program, I knew that at some point in my life, I'm gonna have to put myself in front of the other guys and prove that I'm supposed to be here. So I've always thought that I was supposed to be there. So it was one of those nice moments. But I would say like when I arrived and I seen all the guys like Clemson out or Pittsburgh, all those things. It was really a nice moment to say, hey, here it is. You're here. Let's do it. That's about it though. But I got a lot of confidence in my play because I work hard behind it. So to go out there and just compete was another thing for me. It was just another opportunity. So it was really nice.
Do you feel like you had a chip on your shoulder being a D2 guy surrounded by D1 talent?
Yeah, man. I love the underdog story. I went to a school where I graduated 550 people. I was told even in high school, hey, you don't play any level of competition where we think we could offer you a Division I scholarship. Um, so I've had that underdog story and that chip on my shoulder because I've wanted this since I was 7 years old. So I've never lived a different life than what I've wanted at 7 years old. I've worked hard at it. And sometimes people doubt you, and you see these things like he's D2, he's this, he's that. But I don't care about none of it. I'm just here to
You can't.
do what I dreamed of, and attack my goals. And I continue to do that, and I continue to prove that it doesn't matter where you start, it's how you finish. And I love the story because it just pushes me more and more. I'm going to continue to work hard and continue to show who I am.
Hey, 25 and a half sacks is 25 and a half sacks no matter what division. You ask any NFL coach, and they'll tell you sack production in college leads to translation into the NFL. So no one will ever be able to take that away from you. No one will ever be able to take away that Ted Hendricks Award, as well as the small school defensive award that you also received. So you'll have those, and listen, I'm rooting for you. But before we move forward, let's talk a little bit backwards about your college career. You started at Grand Valley State. You played there for a couple of years, then found your way at Ferris State. Coming out of high school, what was the recruitment process looking like for you?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I graduated 550 people, man. So I went to all the elite camps. I went to like invite only camps, like Notre Dame, Ohio State, Michigan State. Just continuously put myself out there. I worked hard at going into my senior year, making sure I exposed myself out to these schools. And even during the camps, the coaches would tell me like, "Hey, man, the level of competition, or you got to do something crazy." And I scored the football in 6 different ways my senior year. I led the team in tackles, led the team in sacks. Like I returned kicks, I returned punts for touchdowns. All these things. So I'm doing everything in my power, to put myself in the best situation possible. So to not come out on top was kind of hard, but I had almost every Division II offer you could think of with powerhouse schools. So it just came down to the fact that I was going to Grand Valley, and I embraced it, loved that. The coaches, they were awesome. I just they changed the defensive scheme, and we came out of things, and I wasn't fit for their scheme, I would say, and for my dreams, my dreams to come true, I got to be in the scheme that's going to allow me to have some success. And at Division II, your numbers got to pop. I have all love and respect for the coaches, my teammates over there. I still keep in contact with all of them. So it was really nice. But my baby brother went to Ferris State, committed to Ferris State when I was in the portal. And then my other baby brother, he played basketball there at the time. So it was really an easy choice for me, man. Like it was COVID time. My mom didn't want me going anywhere down south or anything like that. So it was a simple choice. It was before the Division I rule where you could transfer up or anything like that. You had to wait a year, and I didn't want to sit out a year. I ended up sitting out one, but I didn't waste any eligibility. But you know, I got to play ball and win 2 national championships with my little brother, man. I couldn't ask for a better experience.
And what was it like playing with your little brother? I mean, I'm sure you guys played all growing up, before you even had dreams of college or like that. So, what was it like to kind of play with him at the collegiate level?
So yeah, man, I got to play with my brother growing up. I think 3 times, like 3 separate years, and that was like the first 3 years he played football. And then after that, I didn't get to play with him any longer. Besides like 7-on-7s, they move him up, let him throw the ball. He was a quarterback in high school. He was all-state quarterback, so he was legit. Um, but I didn't get to play with him any other times. So it was really nice because he allowed me to build a relationship with him on the football field. And you know what it's like. You got a little brother. He irritates you. We're out in practice. In college. He plays receiver now, and I would play outside backer, and he'd come across on a drag or something. He's like, you tag off. Typically, I'm giving him a shoulder every time. So it's an amazing feeling to play with him, though, man. It was a dream come true for sure. Especially with all the success that me and him had together. It was a dream come true for me to have that because I love him to death. I would do anything for him. So to be able to share these precious moments in my life with him and have them as precious moments for him too is really nice.
Would you say that was your favorite moment during your career at Ferris State?
Yeah, my favorite moment at Ferris State was I would say besides the sack record, because I knew that day when it was going to happen, but we played one snap together against one team in Waldorf. I begged my coaches to put me on the special teams with them, and they put me in with them, and we pancaked the dude
Yes,
punt
sir.
return. So it was really nice. That would probably be my favorite moment of college football for sure.
And kind of leading into that, so you being a D2 guy, we talked about that. You already have a chip on your shoulder, but I'm sure you hear and talk about Matthew Judon a lot as someone to kind of translate to in the league, especially in your position. Is there an NFL player that you try to model your game off of?
So I like Judon's play. He's got a motor that doesn't stop. Since we're talking about him, I will say that. And then I like TJ Mack, Khalil Mack, TJ Mack, TJ Watt, Khalil Mack. I'm sorry. Um, they got all of them have motors that don't stop, and they're good at translating speed to bull or working moves until they get home. It's not something that's going to win maybe once, like off the first move, but they'll go to their second move and third move or whatever. They just keep going at the quarterback, So I think that's what I model myself after, and I'm pretty athletic, and I think all those guys are athletic too.
So I have a couple questions from my co-host Mike. He couldn't make it in tonight for the interview, but he sent in a couple questions he really asked. He really wanted to know, and they kind of go off of your play style. So he played at the collegiate level. He played at Buffalo State at defensive end actually. So he wanted to ask you, what's your go-to pass rush move? When he played, he loved the club and rip.
Okay, I would have to agree with them, but I'll add a stab in there. And if that doesn't work and I'm getting overshot, my favorite is to speed the ball. Just for the simple fact that I'll get people on their toes and I'll push them back quick. Because I'm already to my point. I'm trying to get to that inside shoulder already. So it's really nice. And if that sets it up to where they have to slow down their sets again, right back to the stab club rip. Probably my go-to move for sure.
All right. And what do you prefer, being a hand in the ground or a sprinter stance defensive end? And which one are you more
I
comfortable with?
I would most definitely like standing up rather than putting my hand down.
I would imagine.
But I can do either. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, no, I feel like I never played defensive end, but I think I'd like sprinters better. So,
Yeah.
so this is Caleb Murphy, the star defensive end from Ferris State. You were recently invited to the NFL Combine. Where were you when you found out you got that invitation, and what was going through your head at that moment?
So yeah, I had been talking to my agents about it quite a bit before it happened, and they kept telling me, "You're gonna get one, man. You're gonna get one, man." And just being the D2 guy, I'm telling myself like, I don't know, that's who I am, But I had all the confidence in myself, But if you're thinking in politics, football politics, or anything, I don't do the voting, So there's some guys that should be there still, like to this day, I'm training with some guys down here, they had great tape, So in my opinion, I think they should be there too. But it was nice. I was actually on my way to the East-West Shrine Bowl game. My agent had called the people for me right before I had got on the plane. And when I got on the plane, I had got a text, and he texted me. He was like, "You're in." And I was like, "To what?" And he was like, "Combine." And I was fired up. The first thing I did was screenshot my messages, send it to my mom, and I smiled for maybe 10 minutes when we were taking off. And then after that, I literally got off the plane. The next day, I got the email, like the real email of it, and I was fired up. I had to go into meetings, early meetings. So, went into meetings. But then after that, I gave my mom a call finally. And it was really nice to hear her voice and how excited she was for me.
And Caleb, what do you hope to gain out of your trip to the Combine?
Just to continue to raise my draft stock. I think my play speaks for itself. So now I should just go match the numbers with how I play. It's really big for me at this point. But the biggest thing I want out of it is, get in front of some more coaches, show them my body size, my body shape, those type of things, and just communicate with them, and then get the best experience from it that I can share with my family.
And what is a potential NFL team getting out of Caleb Murphy?
Oh man, like I said, a motor that doesn't stop. Somebody's real coachable. I pride myself in that. I'm not a cancer to anybody. I never have been. I never will be. I think that's one of the worst things for a team. And then a guy who's going to come in and learn from the vets. And, I'm going to do my job at all times and make sure, there's nothing else done besides my job. And if they need anything else, I'll be able to do it too.
And I can just tell, just in this last 15 minutes talking with you, there is no toxicity that you can, you can't sense it at all. So you can definitely tell that you're a team first guy, and definitely would be a likable guy in an NFL locker room. Going into kind of your gameplay, do you have a pregame ritual to help you get prepared for the game?
Yeah. So it's gonna sound really weird, but I'll start with the first one. I listen to Juice WRLD and Lil Uzi probably the whole time before I get on. Those are my people. Like, I'm
Heard
gonna
that.
listen to them. That's not the weird thing, but those are my people. But the weird thing is, right before we go out, so we'll go out, stretch, do those things with the team, come back. When we get in that locker room the second time, I'm gonna throw up. And I learned that at Grand Valley with one of my teammates, Johnny Williams. He was like, "Murph, throw up with me," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, just do it." And I'm like, "All right." So I did it, and it's like an adrenaline rush in a way. Like, all your nerves, like any nerves you have before the game, anything you have, like, to me, like, it's gone. Like, as soon as you throw up, it's gone. You're fired up. You're ready to go. Like, and I'm always fired up, play some football, but those nerves or the pre-snap jitters or anything like that, I don't have any of those because I threw up already. I'm good. I'm ready, and I'll make myself throw up. It's not like something that like happens just naturally. I make myself throw up. So it's really funny when it comes out, but I mean, I'm locked and loaded right after that.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Now, I grew up in Western New York. I'm born and raised in Buffalo, Niagara Falls region. So I grew up a Bills fan. So Bills QB Josh Allen, he does the same thing pregame. He throws
Right.
up before every single game, and as he kind of said it, more athletes kind of came out and was like, "Yeah, that's true. Like it helps you." So it's funny
It really
to kind of
is.
hear that one.
Yeah.
So that's all I got for you, Caleb. Do you have anything else that you want to add, or anything that we haven't covered?
I'm a good boss.
Good, good. And then thank you, Caleb, for coming on. Once again, that is Caleb Murphy, the 2022 winner of the Ted Hendricks Award. He finished up his season with 25 and a half sacks, an NCAA record, and a 39 tackles for a loss, which is tied for an NCAA record. Once again, thank you for coming on. Thank you for the time. We'll be rooting for you, and we hope to hear from you soon after the draft.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, thanks, Caleb.
All right, boss. Thank you.